Welcome to ET Auto. Today we have Mr. Pawan Munjal, Chairman and Managing Director, as well as CEO of Hero MotoCorp. Thank you so much for talking to ET Auto, sir. Just wanted to understand your takes, sir, in the overall economic scenario, the macro economic situation, as well as the expected recovery. 2019, people were expecting maybe second half would be better, but in a way, second half proved to be even more detrimental for the automotive industry. How do you foresee the recovery and the economic scenario overall?
Um, I think that whatever announcements that we've seen from the government, plus the recent budget, 1st of February, all this put together, uh, I think that a lot of stuff has been done which is medium to long term. Good policies have been heard. We need to see implementation of all these policies. But here and now, the situation is still about the same that we've seen in the recent few quarters. I also believe that there is a lot of pent up demand, but we are now moving to BS6 from BS4. There is substantial cost that's gone up. There will be substantial price which is going to be passed on to the consumers. So next 2 quarters are going to be tough. I think as we get close to the festive season, the pent up demand should bring customers back to our dealerships to come and buy motorcycles and scooters.
So as Indian market is in a very evolution phase, we are evolving as a market. Customers are also changing. Do you feel there is a slowdown or there is a market disruption happening?
Um, it clearly is a slowdown. The economy is much lower than what was planned before. So I believe the slowdown over the next few quarters should become better.
So 2020 almost marks your decade of solo journey. So what would be the vision for the next 10 years in terms of 2030? Where do you see Hero? The best part has been that you still the segment and the market leader, despite the challenges and the situations in terms that there was huge technology deficit. You bridged the gaps and you have maintained your edge. How do you see Hero MotoCorp for the next 10 years, the next decade?
But clearly, there is a huge transformation right now from BS4 to BS6. Um, the engineers, the entire R&D has been extremely busy switching from BS4 to BS6. Now that we are moving to BS6, we've started launching BS6 products, and today at our event we have shown big big range of BS6 products and also some new products. We have for some time back already started work on different technologies, and amongst those technologies there's a huge focus on electrification. As you know, we have invested in Ather, a startup. We have almost 30% share in Ather. We have clearly shown our direction in which we are headed for the future. Other than that, we also have our own uh, company, not company, we call it Hero Hatch. We have couple of batches of very young engineers who have taken up different um, topics. We working on electric products. We are working on used vehicles, pre-owned vehicles, and recently we have um, two more batches working on two new products, two new projects. Other than that, within our own R&D at CIT, there is work going on electrification. We also showed one of the scooters, e-Maestro, where we actually tried to show the technology, electric technology, in the products we will be designing going forward.
So e-Maestro is there will also be possibility of electric bikes, maybe a Splendor or different brand name in electric bikes.
Oh yes, there will be electric motorcycles as well,
Okay.
not just scooters.
Okay. And so, if I remember, sometime back you had told me that Neemrana, you would also be looking at boutique bikes in terms of bigger displacement, bigger engine bikes, and probably there are certain overseas markets where possibly you can look for those products. How has been the progress, and is Neemrana plant geared up for that?
Well, we have today also showcased a product, not a full motorcycle, but we have shown a hint of the direction in which we are heading. We clearly are looking at higher CC engines, and they're already on design boards. And very soon, we should also be launching higher CC engine motorcycles.
So, a few years back, Hero had started a very ambitious strategy of leap in terms of improving your margin, improvising in terms of existing operations. How has been the strategy? And because the huge cost pressures, slowdown has been there. It was unexpected. It was quite a big surprise. How has Leap gone forward?
It's been a very, very successful project. We had um, we had consultants working with us for a few years, helping our teams with on Leap, and we actually have brought down our costs tremendously. Thereafter, Leap has become part of every engineering, every design, every bought out component. Leap is something which is very helpful in our margins.
So you might not be happy seeing the way scooters are going, and you have not been able to maintain your or retain your position there. You are sliding on sales and as well as the segment position. What pitfalls you need to avoid in terms of not having repetition of similar things in motorbikes, because you have an edge, you have massive volumes coming, but scooters have not been the forte of Hero MotoCorp the way bikes have been. What are the learnings in terms of that scooters have not done and bikes you retain that?
Well, let me say that our R&D is only 4 years old, and I'm sure you know that R&Ds take years and decades to mature. But within 5 years, we actually have done a lot. Our R&D has come out with 150 projects, not all of them new products, but various new products, variants, etc. And during these 4 years, we've also had issues with some of the products, whether they were design issues or manufacturing issues or component issues. So all that learning has been used, and our recent launches in scooters, whether it was Pleasure Plus or Maestro 125, Destiny, are very successful products. So going forward, not just these, we working on more scooters, and I'm very confident that we will keep on getting higher market share.
So 10,000 crore kind of a capex you have over the next 4 years, 5 years. And do you feel in a time when the market is getting extremely competitive, we are facing unexpected slowdown? There's a huge transformation in terms of safety and emission and all platforms in terms of meeting global norms. How do you see Hero taking up this strategy in terms of transforming its entire product line? And 10,000 is enough in terms of such a massive company, world's largest two-wheeler company. Will that be enough capex for Hero?
I thought you were going to say that isn't that too much investment? But anyways, 5 to 7 years is what we've said. Uh, it'll take 5 to 7 years for us to invest about 2,000 crores of rupees. Uh, yes, we are going to move to electric vehicles. Surely there will be a lot of investment converting everything to electric. Uh, we are also looking at various other possibilities in mobility. We are also going to be upgrading our manufacturing facilities. The earlier ones, the recent ones are all green factories. And other than that, this is all going to be invested within Hero and the ecosystem. This, I've been saying, is the era of partnerships. And we are looking at various possibilities in partnerships or in M&As. So I believe this is the kind of investment that we will be making.
In the automotive scenes, in the past 3 to 5 years, there have been so many regulations that probably not has happened in the past 50 years. Past 5 years, seen every 3 months, 6 months, a new regulation coming. As a manufacturer, the largest manufacturer, how do you foresee? Have a feeling that Indian automotive industry is over-regulated?
I wouldn't say over-regulated. Maybe it should have been regulated over a longer period of time. But most of the regulation, as you said, have come in the previous few years, which is why there seem to be a lot of regulations. And of course, with every regulation, there's costs going up, there's prices going up for the customers. Sometimes some of the regulations in the context of certain market may not be required. But then you cannot have different regulation for different markets. If you look at the ABS, for example, well, in a city like Delhi, you cannot drive more than 20 kilometers an hour or 25 kilometers an hour. ABS is not necessary. But then the same motorcycle may be going out on the expressway where you need ABS. It's tough to really say where you need a certain regulation and where you don't need that regulation.
The world's largest two-wheeler companies, and India is also probably is the largest two-wheeler market in the world. How do you see the sector shaping up? And in past, there have been many policy announcements, which might be more kind of coming from various quarters. How do you see this uncertainty leaping into announcements coming from different quarters? How do you see the sector grooming in terms that sales have not been because of slowdown? India has the tag of world's largest two-wheeler market, but going forward, things doesn't look so rosy.
I would say two things which need to be done. One is consistency in policy. We cannot keep changing policies every few months or every few years. You know how much investment and how much time and effort everything takes. It sort of brings, we don't have consistency. We cannot plan for 5 years or 10 years. We need long-term planning, for which we need consistency. The other thing is, there are different policies coming from various different, whether they are ministries or organizations. There needs to be one agency which supports and looks after the automotive industry, and every policy which comes from different organization must come through this agency.
Okay.
So that the obstacles are not too many.
Okay, we probably need one single nodal agency in terms
Yes.
of. Okay. Thank you so much for talking to us, sir. Thank you so much, and wish you a great 2020 in terms of sales and revenues.
Thank you.
Thank you.